The foundation and beginning to any crochet project is a slip knot and chain. I recommend practicing with a large piece of rope or yarn. Even shoelaces are a good idea. Something big so you can actually see what you're doing. Finger crochet is a cool way to start this process, but it won't replicate exactly what the hook will do. It's still a cool visual and a fun project that requires zero supplies except your hands, yarn, and a pair of scissors, but we'll get to that later. With the chain, you're going to focus on even tension. You need to hold your work steady and use both hands that are doing different things. All of your little fingers have an important role to play. Just like playing a musical instruments, your two hands are doing two different things simultaneously. This will take practice to learn. Let's see what this looks like. And as we work, listen to the cues I'm giving you as they're really gonna help you build good habits. Proper muscle memory is formed with good habits. If you form a bad habit early, it's really hard to break later down the road when you want to try something a little more difficult. Let's start now with the slip knot and chain. Here I have my large piece of yarn and my crochet hook. I don't need a pair of scissors right now or a huge skein of yarn because this is just for practice. Whenever you start a crochet project, you don't want to jump into an actual project. Just like when you're about to play a soccer game, if you've never played soccer before, you need to learn to dribble, you need to learn to do the drills, and that's what this is here now, drills. Let's start with the slip knot. The slip knot is a knot that you can pop out. It slips right out and becomes a straight little piece of yarn again. Let's see how it looks. First, you cross over your yarn to make a little loop, just like that. Then you take the tail end, start to put it through that loop, grab that loop, pull the tail and the remaining length of yarn. You can adjust this by pulling on the longer length of yarn to make your hole longer or shorter, just like that. And if you take your hand out and pull, you've got a slip knot. Let's see what that looks like again. Yarn over the front, tail through the loop, grab this new loop, and pull. Pull the tail to tighten. Now you're ready to begin the foundation to every crochet project you'll ever make, which is the chain. Once you have your slip knot, put your crochet hook through, tighten it so it's still movable. You don't want anything too tight. Make sure your hands are never gripping too tight. That will cause a lot of damage way down the road. So have a soft grip. If you notice that you're really scrunched up, relax. Take a deep breath. Now, I'm gonna talk a lot about hand placement right now. I'm a right-handed person, so I'm going to show you this right-handed. Here we go. My right hand has to hold the hook, and my finger has to hold this little piece of yarn, my little loop on the hook. That's holding it steady. So the job of my right hand, hold the hook and the yarn. I'm also going to be turning the hook occasionally. You'll see how this looks. So this job right now is hold that yarn in place. Because if I start moving this yarn without holding it down, it goes all over the place like that. And then you get frustrated and you want to cry. So we have our slip knot. Crochet hook through. Tighten it so it's snug but movable. And you want to make sure your thumb is on this little rest right here. Your crochet hook should be facing you. You're looking at that hook just like this, not sideways. That comes later. You want to see the front of your hook. So hold, and then you're going to do what is called yarn over. When you yarn over, you take your extra length of yarn, go around the back and over the top of the crochet hook. Let's see that again. Around the back, over the top. Now, here's where this gets tricky. Your left hand is your yarn over hand and your stabilizing hand. Here's what this looks like. I know, each hand has 2 jobs. This is the hardest part. It will get easier as you go. I'm gonna hold with my right hand right here. I've yarned over. Great. Now I need to put this yarn off to the side between my fingers like this. I wanna hold this slip knot in place because now I'm going to lift my finger, turn the crochet hook down so it hooks that little yarn, and I pull it through the loop. And then I turn the crochet hook so it's facing me again. If you're not holding this bottom loop as you pull the loop through, you're just gonna be a big old mess of why. It's gonna get confusing. So when in doubt, check what you're holding. Are you holding the knot, the loop on the hook? Are you yarned over? Have you held the chain that you just made right here with your little thumb and ring finger? Okay, then you're ready to do another chain. Turn it down, pull that yarn through the loop. Hold, yarn over, hold, turn, pull through. Hold, yarn over, hold, pull through. You're gonna do this for maybe 10 chains to start with. It's gonna look wonky at first, but you should start to see this V-like pattern. Once you've finished your little length of practice yarn, you're going to take your hook, put it next to you, and pull the whole thing out. You're gonna repeat this step until you're comfortable. Let's go back to a sports analogy. Until you can dribble the basketball or dribble the soccer ball or whatever kind of game you're playing, you can't really participate in the main game. This is the dribble. This is what we need to get started. I'm gonna do this one more time so you feel good, and I'm gonna do it at regular speed. Slip knot, hook in, hold, yarn over, pull through. Yarn over, pull through. I want to address a bad habit that can form here. It is going to be very tempting to yarn over and then pull your loop over the tip of the crochet hook. This is going to compromise your even tension, and some of your stitches are going to become backwards. It's just it leads to tangling. So don't take your loop with your fingers off the crochet hook. You wanna yarn over, hold, pull through. And if you're really fast, it'll start to look like this, and you don't even have to look at your hands while you do it. Very exciting. That, my friends, is the slip knot and chain. I recommend you pause here for a minute and really try to get this down before you try anything else. This is your foundation. Practice and go slow. In the next video, we'll move on and show you how to build upon this foundation to make a larger project.